Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyédè nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyédè nọ́mbà wá.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live. Share the broadcast.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe àní Máyégún máa.
Tinubu people have responded or have replied, Professor Wole Soyinka, and as you would probably expect them to appreciate the fact that Professor Wole Soyinka came out to condemn the Emilokan song, the Tinubu's camp, they saw through what Professor did. Because in Professor Wole Soyinka's condemnation, right, he said he completely disagreed, right, with, the pirate confraternity openly using Tinubu's health, right, to mock him. That's what the song, according to them, looked like. Even though the song didn't mention any name, right? Baba we know well, and they shake, leg they shake. Baba we know well, they shouted Emilokan. Because everybody know that Emilokan is Tinubu. So Tinubu camp now said that Professor Wole Soyinka was publicly admitting that Tinubu is sick. It is obvious that he's not well, right? But at the same time, his own group, they want everybody to overlook that. Doesn't matter. Everybody can be sick. Anyone can be sick and all of that stuff. So forget about his ailment. Forget about his physical, what have you. Forget about the Parkinson and every other thing that he's suffering from. Just look at what he promises to do for you. But the truth of the matter is this. It is Tinubu who put himself up for ridicule. And with the experience that people have had with Bokuari, of course, you would always want to be honest with yourself if you want to, right? So, Tinubu is not well. He is sick. Yes, so many of us, we are young today, agile. And look at it this way. Nigeria population is put at over 200 million. And it is also a record that over 70% of that population consists of young people who are between the ages of 30 and below. That's massive. For you to think at least all of them will be comfortable ignoring a sick old man. Yeah, we may not all grow old. In fact, let me tell you something, right? It is not new. No be all of us go grow old. Some of us would, some of us would, right? But I don't think any of us will wish to grow old, weak, tired, and at the same time be seeking for a job like that one. So I don't know how old people feel, but somehow, to me, to so many other people that I know, it is a red flag. However, Professor Wole Soyinka wanted to be politically correct, but rather he was also given a water. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. That is exactly where we are going to start. So share the broadcast, invite your friends, invite everybody that should be here, and then we'll start. Tell them.
Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Máyégún máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Thank you very much. So I know that, like as usual, right? The illiterate, ignorant, unboot slaves, Lagos Sabo Bakus, the frustrated Nigerians, no thanks to APC, Egbekegbe, on Mayegun's diary political, they can't stop coming here. You know why? Even though they know that they are never going to hear anything that is ever going to massage their egos or make them feel better from the miserable lives that APC, Egbekegbe, has now bestowed on them. But on Mayegun's diary political, they join us every night because this platform is like the therapy platform for many of those frustrated Nigerians, confused, lost. When they come on Mayegun's diary political, yeah, it is easier to let out all those anger, all those frustration, all those hates, all those stuff. Some of them, they do that because that is what keeps them alive for now. From the hardship inflicted on them, the jihadists unleashed on them by APC, Egbekegbe. Now, I would take you through, or let me take you down the memory lane a bit. Right? 7 years ago, right? These guys were lyrical on how much Nigeria needed them to save the country and the people from the ruins of people destroying people, PDP. Among those who championed that it was necessary was our own Professor Wole Soyinka. I mean, no matter any death or any kind of hate, tribal bigotry, and so many other ethnic, bigotry that you're going to come across in Nigerian space, the foundation was laid from 2014, 2015. That was the moment when, those that you will think would never throw caution in the air, like Baba, Professor Wole Soyinka, in one of his diatribes, where he was, granting his regular, back then, Baba usually grant regular, press releases. From the past, it's something that was like a drastic change from the past, their past position, to taking a new position in bringing in APC, Egbekegbe, led by Bokwari, and then facilitated by Tinubu and gang. In one of those popular ones, when Professor Wole Soyinka was taking a dig at the president of Nigeria then, Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, his wife, Patience, Professor Wole Soyinka was responding, I think, to one of the headlines with Patience Jonathan's gaffe. And he said, her husband, who happened to be a Nebuchadnezzar, an hippopotamus, that he would rather deal with the hippopotamus and ignore the illiterate sheepopotamus. That was the first lady of Nigeria then, Vex lady. Oh dear, APC, Egbekegbe, and their new recruits back then, They jumped on it. This professor is so good with words. Professor, Shippopotamus. Well, how did he make that up? They fancied it. They enjoyed it. Then they came in, destroyed Nigeria, divided Nigeria, looted Nigeria, bankrupted Nigeria. And then, if professors say anything, that professor is the enemy of Nigeria. So today, he is not their friend, even when he tried to be their friend. So for some of you who don't know the genesis of this, or you do, let me start with this. The pirate confraternity, they are not considered as a secret courts in Nigeria. They are considered as a social club. They are called pirates, wearing white and red cap and other stuff, and they are always in the open. So in one of their gatherings in Lagos, right, where they were gyrating, singing and all that, yeah, so a sort of, a national hit was released. And releasing that hit, wearing that uniform and all that, and Professor Wole Soyinka is the one who founded that pirate confraternity. Is their founder. So when the song came out, everyone was like, yay, Then professor came out and said, no, that is you cannot, you cannot be mocking somebody because of their health issue. We are coming back to that, because it was the health issue of Bokwari that gave space and room for what you have today in Nigeria. And for those who know Tinubu very well, just this year, he still spent, last year, he spent 80 days abroad. Doing what? They said he had a knee operation. So he had a knee operation in America, Maryland. They moved him down to the UK for another medical checkup, but they called it recuperation, right? After that, they moved him again to another European country. And it's been like that for like 80 days. Remember Bokwari, who spent over 108 days in London. And you know what happened, Abi? Do you remember that 25.8 billion NNPC new oil license contract or so then? You remember? That Baru, who is now dead, the former NNPC, that he had to fly to London to come and meet Abakari, where Bokwari was a total vegetable, right? Sorry, I'm taking you too far back, Abi. I'm just telling you the implication of sick old men handing your own destiny. If Bokwari never taught you anything, of course, you will make your choice. But however, now this song started the wahala to start with.
Tinubu went no well. He dey shout any local, and they shake, let they shake. Tinubu went no well. He dey shout any local, yoko. Any local. Tinubu went no well. He dey shout any local, and they shake, let they shake. Tinubu went no well. He dey shout.
So ordinarily, right, even Tinubu's critics, they kind of, even those who didn't like Tinubu, right, some of them felt like, that's too far. No, they shouldn't go that far. But do you know one thing that some of you sometimes don't, if you are in that category, some of the things you don't admit is the fact that you are an hypocrite. Okay? Mm-hmm. Some said, he's a sick man, and you can, you can choose not to vote him and all of that stuff for those who are voting. That also means that you are an hypocrite. I'll start with something. Yeah. In 7 years, they didn't just destroy Nigeria. They stole and looted virtually everything, including the resources that they've not even extracted as we speak. Right? And those who made that happen are all members of APC. In your own view, right? In your own view, should, in this today's Nigeria, right? Should you be offended? Should you feel angry that people have so much disdain for APC? Right? Should you be angry? Like ordinarily, if you are being kind of sensitive, so to say, should you be angry? Would you agree that APC, the entirety of them, yeah, brought Nigeria to where Nigeria is today, including the near balkanization and breakup of Nigeria that you are witnessing today? So in your own view, should you feel offended? Yeah, there are some people feel offended that you are trying to convince them that Tinubu is different from APC. Should you be offended? Because sometimes, right, some of you feel like it is so easy, convenient, when it is for you to say, let's just forget that and move on. APC, Egbekegbe, brought shame, disgrace to those of you who vouched for them in 2014, 2015. If you would admit, yeah? If you're not doubling down, finding excuses. Should any member, anyone who says I'm an APC member, put up a poster in any part of Nigeria of today, and then expect to win anything at all? Should there? Again, it's about choice. And at the same time, right, let's take it bit by bit as well. In 2015, APC, Egbekegbe, they said they were coming to revive the Nigeria economy. They were coming to create jobs, 3 million of that every year. They promised you that for the first time in your lifetime, Nigeria will stop importation of fuel within the first 2 years of APC, Egbekegbe. Also, your children, they did promise you, if you remember, that those who have become the victims of Boko Haram terrorism, who were then living in abandoned schools, shelters here and there called refugee camps, will be returned to beautiful homes and they will be kept safe, and others can also go to sleep while your children go to school. They did promise you that. In fact, they even said they were going to feed your children, right, twice a day. They also promised you, especially for some of you who love to spread all their lies, and you are back at it again. They did promise you then that apart from creating 3 million jobs every year, which they believe will be a bit small to what Nigeria will need. They said, many of you who will be graduates or who are graduates, you will be collecting what they called, remember, employment allowances. They made a lot of promises, yeah? They also told you, for the first time in your lifetime, as a Nigerian, you are going to witness Nigeria generate over 50,000 megawatt of electricity, distribute everything, and keep your home lit. They did promise you that. One of other things they did promise was to make sure that your naira regained its value and its value among committee of currencies. These were promises that could be checked. You don't need any grammar. They told you back then, they said, just give us 3 months. What is Boko Haram? Boko what? Now, let us now look at those scorecard. Because if you say, let us put the health of their presidential candidate aside, or Muslim ticket, it no matter, fine, we'll come to that. Let us take them on what they have done to Nigeria in 7 years. Because you see that thing where they call Stockholm syndrome. Some people, they suffer them. Because of what in Nigeria they do you every now and then, right? Some people are deliberately putting themselves in that state of, selective amnesia. So I'm going to remind you, what is that scorecard? On security in 7 years, more school children have been kidnapped and never found. In 7 years, Boko Haram upgraded their industry, their business, their enterprise in Nigeria. They became Boko Haram Part 1, Boko Haram Part 2. They now created affiliates, subsidiary, ISWAP. Now, ISWAP, they are opening branches everywhere. Boko Haram that used to be in Borno now became Boko Haram that is now everywhere in Nigeria, including Owo, in Ondo State, Yoruba land. If no be say, then talk say, you cannot shame the shameless. On security, today, Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, other people in Nigeria are paying ransoms to Fulani terrorists in hundreds of millions, in billions. Terrorists are now making convenient calls, negotiating with the families of their victims conveniently. In 7 years of APC, Egbekegbe, kings are being kidnapped, killed, ransom paid for some. Villages are being ransacked in southern Nigeria. But guess what? The entire security system caved in and became part and parcel of the terror gang since APC, Egbekegbe, came on. So, the sad thing about this is that in all of this anomaly, this terrorism, those who were shouting Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, the Sai barbarians, they were not spared. Those who were shouting, infidels cannot lead us, infidels cannot lead us, infidels, those of you who are not this, you are infidel, it is and that, they were not spared. Those who were speaking grammars, speaking in tongues in 2015 because Boko Haram was going to fight terrorists physically as a retired soldier. Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu, Agboworin Baba Oja. I'm talking about Oshibajo, the special advisor to Boko Haram now on condolences matters, burial arrangements, and trader money. They said, Holy Braka, he's a pastor. He will be fighting the war spiritually. But they say, if you shame the shameless, 7 years down the line, even the pastor, they're not born and well, to drive from Kaduna to Abuja, they can put on the sat-nav today, which wasn't the same 7 years ago. Security gone. Today in Zamfara, their governor said, you better go get gun. AK-47 or AK-40, whatever you can get, protect yourself. Oh, nobody will protect you again. Oh. That is under APC. In Benue, use anything where you get, defend yourselves. So Nigeria is gone. We can no longer protect you. That's the reality. That is Benue. In Southwest Nigeria, they said, Omo, you are on your own. Oh. Police, police or army or navy or DSS or anything, they are not on your side. Their governors came by together and said, we are starting our own security outfit. Guess who stopped it? Guess who incapacitated them or clipped their wings? APC, Egbekegbe. Today, Yorubas are vulnerable. Oh, dear, we are. Sincerely, we are. We are being monitored by the same people who are supposed to protect us, checking on us to see if we have the capacity to fight back. And if we do, they will come for us. The same people who are supposed to protect us. That's 7 years of APC, Egbekegbe. The terror has spread now beyond where it was closely rooted 7 years ago. Pastor, no, they pray again. The OT, no, they walk again. That's on security. On jobs, they promised you 3 million jobs every year, didn't they? Of course they did. So if they had delivered, by now, they would have created at least 21 million jobs. That could be massive, right? Do you know what that would have been? It would have helped, right? In so much way to reduce poverty. Seriously, it will reduce it. Your government may even likely get more money from you working. But in 7 years, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria went from the officially jobless people of 13.5 million in 2015, straight to over 80 million unemployed, jobless, useless, mostly available for the highest bidder, political scavenger, political businessmen. They are ready for hire. 80 million people jobless in 7 years. Now, if you don't believe that figure, you are also lying to yourself because you know it is true. How did I know? I'll tell you. Under APC, Egbekegbe, they did a lot of economic destruction. Economic jihad, I call it. Yeah. First, they said we have to stop importation of food, especially rice. But they didn't tell you that that was a lie. It was to control it. Then they gave they gave 2 licenses. One to Dangote, one to Bua Binabao. 2 of them from northern Nigeria. They were the only 2 people who have the rights, authority, and the license to import grains into Nigeria. None of you from any part of Nigeria can do that. The second part, they decided to shut all the borders. But the northern border remained opened. Not for anything, but for the terrorism to come in, of course. Southern border was shut, right? For years. Nothing was being done. They said this for security, ladies and gentlemen, rather than us to get safe. Fulani terrorists armed. They invaded us from everywhere. North, west, east, south, everywhere they invaded us today. So businesses started moving out of Nigeria. and people who were working for them, whose expertise and all that could be done away with, they started losing their jobs. Those who were a little bit smart and saw it from 2016, they started processing their japa. Many Nigerians had to japa when they saw that, my company is folding up. My company is moving to Ghana. They are going to lay us off. They are going to sack many of us. All this were going on. People were losing their jobs left, right, and center. Do you know what the APC, Egbekegbe, were saying? They said those businesses were shutting down because there was no free money from PDP anymore, right? And people bought it. Oh yeah, it's true. Good businesses are going to come. All those people who are losing their jobs complaining, they are PDP because no free money again. Because you know why? Majority of them, they have never had a job. They've never had a business. They've never managed anything. Some of them have never really been responsible. They just jump into the bandwagon and it finally consumed every one of them. So that was the beginning of the Nigeria brain drain with the wave. It's called like, it's a wave, brain drain. People who had this training, who had that training, they started finding alternative. Canada, America, UK, Germany, everywhere. People started living. The workforce started depleting, business started depleting. At the same time, government started losing money. Shebi, I've told you many times, I said, many of these APC, social media bandits or Facebook adsmen, some of them are kind of, you will pity them. Whether they are older or they are younger, sometimes you have to pity them because some of them don't know what self-destruct means when they make all these choices. But here we are. Government started losing money. Revenue was not coming in anymore. So what would they do? How would they get money? Let us increase the tax on those who are still having money. In fact, hang on. What about we start charging money on people who put money in banks? Oh, yeah. In fact, do you know that there are some money in some banks that, people have no access to them anymore? We can claim them. Oh, there are dead people who have their bank account. They've not accessed them. We can take all the money. Really? They started looking for everywhere they could see money. Oh, there are pensioners. Pensioners have this portfolio of so trillion naira, 21 trillion. Wow, pension fund. Okay, slow down. We'll be taking them small. Despite all this reckoning, then you would expect, I be the people will come to save your economy that knows that, almost 30% of your crude oil is being stolen by the same people, retired generals, current generals, politicians, all of them who have their different group in Niger Delta, stealing your crude oil, selling them to international markets and all of that. APC knows them. They know themselves, Abi. Instead of them to stop that, ladies and gentlemen, they said oil theft in 2015 was 25% to 30%, which means instead of you to be making money, you are losing 30% of what you should be making from oil to oil thieves. Who are the oil thieves? Your politicians, your retired general, your security agents, and the rest of them. I'm saying this because it's true. It is true. They are those behind bunkering. But instead of them to stop it, oil bunkering in Niger Delta region and in Nigeria increased to over 60%. Now, money no day. What are we going to do? What can you do? Then they started borrowing. Nigeria debt jumped from what they told us, from 13.5 billion to what it is now, over $80 billion. Yes, you heard me right. Now, as we speak right now, in this 2022, the Nigeria debt, foreign debt, has now crossed $102 billion. That is over 50 trillion naira. That's your debt. So what did that do? It hit your naira more, devalued it, because every time they go out borrowing, they told them to go and devalue your naira. Your naira jumped from 199 naira to $1 to over 710 naira to a dollar. And who is bearing the brunt? All of you. The economy. People became jobless, no money. Those who have job, the value of their wage has been depleted. Yeah. And then recession set in. Who did they blame? Not themselves, of course. They blamed you. Many of you want to eat imported rice. All of you want to eat this and that. They blamed you. They said that is the reason why Nigeria is struggling. Cut the long story short, Nigeria entered recession not once, not twice, not 3 times. Nigeria entered recession since 2016 and it remained there till today. Refineries, they're no build. Your petrol no turn to 40 naira per liter. So that same APC, Egbekegbe, want you to ignore health. They want you to ignore, what else? Muslim. Ha ha. What about unity that they are begging for? How far with the unity of Nigeria in the last 7 years? That's why I said you don't need to like me. Me, I'm always going to be me. Mayegun will always be Mayegun. It is the action and the inaction of those you probably love to worship. I call them criminals because that's how I see them. And I have tried to try and see them differently. Some said, why don't you see anything good about them? I said, I am trying. I haven't seen any. Because every good thing you think they are doing is a mistake. It doesn't take them long time to correct it. But you can let emotion ride rough on you. Well, that is not me. I didn't create all of this. I didn't. They did. They built on your gullibility mostly, and they implanted what is now tearing everyone apart today. You don't beg for unity. I've said that many times. I mean, you don't go about and then knock people down and say, oh, let us be united now. Let's be united now. And then it's okay, yeah, then you knock them again. That's not right. That's deceitful. And that's one thing that somebody like me feel like when they talk about unity, what about their utterances? These guys don't care about, the only unity they want, they always enjoyed is the united to destroy, united to ruin, united to kill, united to steal, united to destroy, as I said. That's the only thing I've seen. Nothing really positive really coming out of them, except if you make them up. Some of you love to make things up, by the way. Oh, you love to make things up. What about what? You and whataboutism. We know that's a problem too. But are you united? That the north, the south, the east, the west, the everywhere, that everybody is walking about with their own dagger, holding it at the back, say, if you do anyhow, you go see anyhow. They will call you my brother now because what you say sound good to them. You know that you are not united. Unity is not just a word. Your leaders are united to ruin Nigeria, and they are doing it successfully. APC, Egbekegbe, divided Nigeria more. That is a fact. They what? They divided Nigeria and Nigerians. I've told you, if you want to live long in peace, don't try to be politically correct when you are looking at happenings in Nigeria. You know what I'm talking about. There are good people. Some of you are good people. You want things done in a in a more subtle or good ways, right? But that is not the foundation they laid in Nigeria. Something came to my mind. I remember this. If you don't remember, just a flashback. Something in.
I go no. Igbo na not the trust in Nigeria. My sister born for.
That is going to be your vex lady when Tinubu become your president. That will be your next vex lady. That's who she is. If you're doubting it, here is another one.
Madam, you need to apologize. Madam, don't follow her.
Madam, don't follow her. Madam, don't call her a thug. Madam, all that stuff, anyway. It is who they are. How do you I told you before, I said, your politicians are going to take you through the road to perdition that will show to you more that when somebody says, let us come together and unite, they're saying it as for convenience. But the real Nigeria, you are going to see it in your election, including, you have seen the pastors. The pastors have already started like, Muslim, this or that, not because this is what it is now, isn't it? The imams have also joined. And all this can give you an idea into what you are getting yourselves into. So I caught one, and it was, I think it's this. Let's see. And mind you, if you don't understand Yoruba, don't worry. Okay, when I come back, right? I'll do my best to interpret a bit. But listen.
Mẹ́ta. Hausa gbé èèyàn lẹ̀. Wọ́n fà yẹn lẹ̀. Yorùbá gbé èèyàn lẹ̀. Wọ́n fà yẹn lẹ̀. Igbo gbé èèyàn lẹ̀. Wọ́n fà yẹn lẹ̀. Gbogbo orú rẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ tó bá wò sí láyé. Tó bá jẹ́ pé dáhìrì Yorùbá adé bá ní ọ. Tó ìsọ máa lé Yorùbá. Tinubu lọ dìbò. Bẹ́ẹ̀yàn bá mi rí àfúrásì. Wọ́n dáyì. Ẹ̀la kò fẹ́ bí yín léèrè. Ẹ pé ọ̀dà. Ẹfẹ ni ọba dá àmì nù àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta. Tálẹ̀ ẹni tó dá ọmọ rẹ̀ wo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ nù ọ̀tá mọ́. Nígbà wọn ní kọ̀ dáadáa ní gbogbo wọn rẹ̀ ebi ti wà lásìkò ọ̀hún. Àbí ọmọ ẹni oníṣèlú ìgbẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kábí. Èmi èso olóṣèlú àmọ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ dé yìí. Èmi èsì ṣe kàmpé ìfẹ́ nìkan àmọ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ dé yìí. Tọ́ba yẹ kó wọn náà fẹ́ kọ́ màrí ó jẹ́ èèyàn Tinubu lọ́tẹ̀ kan. Tí í ṣe Yorùbá. Ìdí kankan ò sì síjú pé torí kọ́ jẹ́ Yorùbá. Kò sí kankan mi. Wọ́n sì ní Yorùbá kankan. Èmi ò ní yóò ṣe é dáa. Èmi ò sì ní kò ní ṣe é dáa. Ọlọ́run ẹni tí ó ṣe é dáa, ọlọ́run ẹni tí ò ní ṣe é dáa. Àmọ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ dé yìí, Tinubu lọ́kàn, Tinubu ni ẹ dìbò fún. Ọlọ́mọdé burú fèmí. Olójú ọ̀rọ̀ ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ lọ lè gbọ́ lónìí. Gbogbo kàmpé ìtàbá wò sí fún ẹ̀yìn etí rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ gbà. Ọgbọ̀n ọdún ni Yorùbá máa fẹ́ẹ̀lì. Tá máa fẹ́ẹ̀lì. Bàbá fẹ́ẹ̀lì nírè yóò tún dọ̀gbọ̀n ọdún kí lọ́mọ tó ọmọ bọ́ dọ̀gbọ̀n ọdún láyé. Ọgbọ́n náà gbogbo wa la máa sọ síná lọ́dọọdún every 30 years. Ọgbọ̀n ọdún. Bá ti fẹ́ẹ̀lì ní 1963. Lára Awólọ́wọ̀. Ẹ̀dá kò parí rojọ́. Nítorí wá sí láàyè ilẹ̀ ìfilẹ̀. Yóò bọ̀ débẹ̀ bá títí pé ní 1993. Abíọ́lá náà tó gbé. Abíọ́lá náà tó gbé. Gbogbo bí ó ṣe dé ó débẹ̀ àti tí wọ́n sì pé fún kò sẹ́yìn Yorùbá kò débẹ̀. Yorùbá yìí náà ni o. Ó tún wá ní 2023. lẹ́yìn tí ń bọ̀ yìí. àtiwọ́ ọlọ́wọ́ kan wọ́n wá dìde wọ́n pe àwọn Yorùbá wọn láwọn ẹnìfẹ́. ẹfẹ́nifẹ́ ẹ wá fẹ́rẹ̀ fún Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ yín ẹ ń ṣàfẹ́nifẹ́ rẹ̀ afẹ́nifẹ́ bí.
It is smoky. It is smoky Igbo. It is taking the iron.
So what the Alpha said is that